Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back with Heartstopper. Not just with Heartstopper, but the season finale, episode number 8, the season 1 finale of Heartstopper. And we can say season 1 finale now that we know that 2 and 3 are on the way, so that's a highlight right there. But yeah, season finale. So yeah, I think I feel like because of how short the episodes have been, it's been like a fairly quick ride. But also because like this being a Netflix series and this being like a bingeable series, I very intentionally but also tried my best to actually get through this as quickly as possible. It's taken me just a bit like a little bit longer, than I would have liked, but regardless, I'm here. And then after this, I've actually got like a couple of other series I actively need to move on to and actually need to pick up and then need to pick up. So there's that. But yeah, Heartstopper. So yeah, I think last episode we had the worst cinema trip ever. We had the absolute worst cinema trip ever. We had the worst kind of social outing experience ever too. You know, um, Nick invited Charlie out to a cinema outing with his friends under the belief, and I think probably under like I don't know how well founded the belief was, but under the kind of under the notion that neither Harry nor Ben would be attending, and lo and behold, they showed up. They somehow felt that this social outing couldn't possibly be any better without their however mandatory kind of presence. So they decided to show up and ruin it for everyone else. So that was a thing, and by God they did. By God they did ruin it. I think especially Harry, did not hesitate to make his absolutely shitty attitude known to the entire world, no less. So there was that, and then him and Nick got into a fight, and then that kind of didn't really make things any better either. So that was the thing. And then Ben was no better. Ben just insulted it. Ben insisted on being salty as fuck by the end of the night towards Charlie. Anyhow, so he decided that his last words were going to be full of salt and tears and all that kind of crap. So yeah, So not a fun time, not a very fun time at all. And then I think that then led to some more kind of tensions between Nick and Charlie, mostly on Charlie's end, like Charlie feeling like he was putting Nick through a lot by making him having to defend him, and also like putting them through the tensions of keeping this whole thing between them like private and but still kind of clearly attracting attention from Harry and stuff in the most unwanted of ways and everything. So then he genuinely did consider having them actually breaking up and actually going on a break and just kind of figuring things out in like a much slower pace. So yeah, all in all, Harry ruins everything. Harry, breaks and destroys everything he touches, and he turns everything to dust and ash and all that kind of crap. So yeah, no one needs a Harry. No one needs a Harry in their life. So yeah, I think Ben I don't know, Ben, I think, like back then I was like, Ben needs help. I think even now, I probably would say that Ben needs help. I would just say that he needs to go and find the help instead of actually waiting for other people to pick up the pieces for him. I think he needs to, clearly identify that something is wrong, and then he needs to actually go get the help he needs. But Harry just needs to piss off. Harry, whether or not he gets help or needs help, I think it's just, definitely not anyone decent's concern. So if he does get help, then fine, but that's his own obligation. He's obligated to sort himself out and try and make the world a better place. So yeah, but Nick and Charlie, I think they, hoping we actually get like a brighter ending for this as well. Hoping this episode is somehow like a brighter kind of pick me up from the kind of sheer shitstorm that we had in the last episode too. I think like just given how much went down. Like how much went down in the last episode too. I just wasn't expecting nearly that much. I was actually hoping for at least like a happier ending, but then no. Then they still go to school, and then they still come to confront Harry there, and then Harry tried to kind of delegate his stresses and his shitty mood onto Tao, and Tao, as usual, was not having it. Tao has never had any problem standing up to Harry, at least verbally, but this time he actively got his his physicality in the mix too. He squirted his juice box in his face and then started to get into a fight with him too. So yeah, but then Tao, of course, Tao has had his own stresses too with being out of the loop completely until now. He was the last one. He was absolutely the last one to know about Charlie and Nick being together, and he thought that meant that his and Charlie's friendship didn't matter to them anymore, and that his fears were coming true about their entire friend group kind of drifting apart and finding other people and moving on with relationships and all that kind of stuff. So Tao is not having the easiest time of it either. So yeah, I think between them, between them two, I think that there's like a lot of empathy and a lot of understanding that can really go around and everything too. But with Harry, he just just nah. So yeah, so we had all that stuff going on. So yeah, pretty much just an episode that surrounded that. Just surrounded like Nick and Charlie having to be more secret in public, and then them two kind of having to deal with Harry's toxicity on top of all of that too, and Harry just being more vocal than ever about his toxicity and everything, and then Tao finally kind of, you know, feeling like he got the short end of the stick and everything. So yeah, hopefully this finale is a bit of a pick me up and stuff. So yeah, I don't even know like exactly how they can end this off, exactly what what they could give us, like exactly how they're gonna move forward with this, if they're actually gonna, you know, decide to keep things going, or if they're actually gonna take a break, or what's gonna happen. But I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's by going into the episode. So yeah, it's been I think despite all that stuff, it's still been a really fun and enjoyable series so far. It's been really like a great series to have on the channel and everything, to open up with and everything. So it's been fun that way. And I'm just, you know, beyond glad and relieved that you guys are enjoying the reactions so much and everything. And to everyone who's joined the channel because of the reactions, welcome. This will be the last one we do for a while because it's a season finale, but rest assured when season 2 and 3 come out, we will definitely be checking those out. So yeah, and in time too, I will be you know, trying to see if I can get my hands on the graphic novels too, and maybe checking out volume 1, assuming that's the only one that this first season is based off of, and then proceeding accordingly. So yeah, either way, that's pretty much all I have so far, and from the last episode too. So on to the season finale, season 1, episode 8 of Heartstopper. Let's go. Oh, jeez. Scene left on red. 3 hours, I think you said, 3 hours. Oh, yeah, just delve into your drums. Just beat the pain away. Just beat the pain away. I mean, hey, music can literally be therapeutic too, so...
You're being very loud.
I have my headphones on.
Yeah, but you're still hitting the drums very loudly and I can hear it through the wall.
Yeah, she doesn't have headphones, so...
Are you angry at anything in particular? Or have you decided to finally have a rebellious
yeah.
Did something happen?
Imagine Charlie having a rebellious phase.
He made me feel like I was ruining his life. Like he didn't want me to even exist. Maybe I do just ruin people's lives.
God fucking damn it. No.
It'd be better if I didn't exist.
No, Charlie. Oh. This has been a long-awaited hug. A long-awaited hug that Charlie has deserved for a long, long time.
Would that help?
Gender Explorers by Juno Roche. Okay, that's cool. It's an interesting title. Very colourful.
I heard Harry got suspended for fighting. So
Oh, Harry, suspension is the least of what he could face. Oh dear. No.
Okay, year 10s. The rugby team always do the sports day rugby match.
Oh, there's another match again. It's gonna take place. It's gonna take place before Harry comes back, right? They can still have it without Harry. Of course, they can have it without Harry. He's one person. Come on, be reasonable.
Did you want to get lunch together?
I can't. Sorry.
No, Charlie. Pain, just pain.
I just don't think rugby's for me.
Have the boys been giving you a hard time? Do I need to talk to anyone?
No.
Damn, she's ready to throw some hands. She's ready to throw some fucking hands, or balls, or both. Yeah, she's ready to do some shit. That is the kind of coach you need.
He's always had a tendency to believe that him just existing is annoying for other people.
Yeah. I've seen comments in my videos about like Charlie's mental health past and everything, which is... Yeah.
You should talk to him.
Yeah, so should you.
No. I'm gonna stay pissed off with him for a bit longer.
See, that's a best friend right
Try
there.
rugby. It's good for releasing negative emotions.
I've never seen a blanker poker face. Don't break up, don't break up, don't break up, don't break up. You can keep scrolling where you want. There's hurdles. There's like hurdles. Oh, like short hurdles.
Welcome to the day I know you've all been waiting for, Truman Higgs Sports Day. I'm sure that it
I think I actually quite didn't mind my sports days. I didn't mind them. That's because I deliberately signed myself up for stuff that wasn't too high, you know, skill.
the Reds versus Blues rugby match later today, and even worse fate.
Reds versus Blues. Could you come up with a more ominous title than that?
Right, I'm not going to make you go because I'm a nice teacher. And when I
So
was at
nice,
school, I
so
thought
good.
that hiding from it all was safer. But sometimes the loneliness was just as bad. Don't let anyone make you disappear, Charlie.
The only year 10 who has failed to sign up for an event.
Oh dear.
We're doing the 200 metres for Team Blue.
Oh, 200 meters. I think I did that once. Yeah, didn't, and then wow.
No Can't you?
Well, not fast.
I think I burned myself out right at the beginning. Yeah, I burned myself out and just definitively came in last.
You obsessed with me or something?
Oh, fuck off, Ben. Literally, the one thing that makes me happy about Ben's character is the fact that his actor is the self-appointed president of the Ben Hope Club, Ben Hope Hate Club. That is the one good thing that you can actually think about. Yeah, the actor himself, probably a top-notch lad, and runs that whole thing. Just yeah. Come on, Charlie, outrun his ass. Outrun his ass. Come on, you got it. Let those legs fly. Run, Charlie, run. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Was that 200 meters? Really?
Do you want me to go around telling people about you and Nick? Do you want me to go around telling people about me and you?
Oh, shit.
I
Oh,
thought.
damn.
Except I wouldn't do that because I'm a decent person. But you don't get to make me feel like crap anymore just because you hate yourself. So leave me alone. Just leave
Charlie.
me alone.
Charlie Spring making a fucking stand. That is what we'd like to see. That is what we'd like to see. And a reunion. And a reunion. Okay, finally. So this episode is stepping up. This episode is stepping up. Yeah.
Maybe we could have a movie night on Saturday?
Yeah. I have a really long list of movies I need to force you to watch.
I'm probably gonna hate most of them.
At least they're back together again. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Now I just need to patch things up with Nick. You and Nikki need to, you know, yeah, retie that knot. Yeah, untangle that knot. Untangle that knot. Oh, Tara, what's Tara doing? Oh, long, high jump, high jump, high jump. There we go. High jump. Nice. Second public kiss. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for them. So happy. Oh, okay, that was a good throw. That was a good throw. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it counts as a landscape if it has people in it.
Did he give himself Goku hair? I love the fingerprint ones. Those are really cool. The fingerprints are really cool. Yeah.
I was gonna tell you something.
What?
You've got the wrong team's face paint on.
That's Charlie's fault for swapping bibs with me.
Just wipe the face paint off.
Okay.
Ow.
Oh.
Okay, it's not coming off. Come on. I want to go find my old locker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Elle really doesn't want to ruin stuff. Elle really does not want to ruin stuff. Hmm? How does Tao feel? How does Tao feel?
Teenagers crash into each other and fall over repeatedly.
What sporting event could you possibly... Oh, rugby. That's it. Not a half bad way to describe rugby. Not a half bad way. Yeah. Oh, Charlie's not playing. Oh, he's not. He's spectating from afar. He's spectating, I think, from afar. Yeah, not from the crowd. Can he play well without knowing Charlie's watching? Oh, Charlie's here now. Charlie's here now. Can he play well? Oh, yeah, standing tall. Do it for him. Go on, get a kick in for him. Do it for Charlie. Oh, well, no. Oh, no. Oh. What's this? I mean, you could have done it for him and then gone off, but I don't know, I guess this stands to mean more. Oh, just walking off with him. Just walking off. Oh, down. Even Imogen's tearing up.
Aren't you going to tell Nick Nelson that he has to do the match?
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Tara and Darcy. Yeah. Oh. Then Isaac and a book. Always Isaac and a book. Easily one of my favourite ships in this show.
I need you to know that my life is way better because I met you.
You don't have to say that.
I do. And I'll keep on saying it until you believe me. I don't care about getting into fights or pissing off my mates or anything like that. It's all worth it to be with you. I mean, you are the kindest, most thoughtful and amazing person in the whole world. And if you really want to break up, I would respect your decision, but I want us to be together. You're my favourite person.
Nick.
I need you to believe me.
Nick. I believe you.
Who wouldn't believe words like that? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't believe those words? Oh gosh, you boys. Oh, he's taking him somewhere by train. They're travelling. Where are they travelling to?
I think I've ever been in this direction.
That's the author in the corner. That's her. That has to be the author. I'm pretty sure that's the author. I'm pretty sure that's Alice Oseman. I'm pretty sure that was her. Please tell me that was a cameo of her. Please tell me that was her cameo. That would be so cool. That would be so legitimately cool. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that was the author. That had to be. But yeah, oh, he's taking to the beach and to the fun and to the fair and everything. Yeah, the rides. Yeah. Pretty damn sure that was an Alice Oseman cameo. That has to be. That has to be. Yeah. Oh yeah, chips. And no chips. Yeah. Oh, the photo booth. Yeah, that's a classic couples moment. The photo booth. Yep. Aww. They're gonna get a new photo framed now. I don't know if they can with like photo booth photos. Maybe like one in the wallet. Yeah, one in the wallet. Yeah, one in the wallet. One in each of their wallets.
I'm definitely bisexual.
Oh,
And
good
I don't
for
wanna have
you.
to sneak around pretending we're
Good for him.
platonic
Good for him.
BFFs. I want to tell the people who matter. And I
Like,
want you to be able to tell people too.
like his mum. Are we gonna get a coming out scene to his
I
mum?
like you so much. And I love liking you. I like Charlie in a romantic way, not just a friend way.
Oh, good to specify that.
Does this mean we're boyfriends?
I mean, it could do.
Yes. Was that not already established the last 10 times we made out?
Oh.
No, we're still just really good buddy boys, yeah. Buddy boys that make out on like a near daily basis. Oh god. If that is just not the gayest thing ever, just, you know, making out, hanging out, dating, all that kind of stuff, but still, you know, unless you actually make actual verbal clarification, it's just like, oh, no one knows. Are we girlfriends? Are we boyfriends? Are we this, that, or the other?
You know Charlie's like my best friend.
If you're going to ask if he can come on our Menorca holiday this year, the answer's no, because I've already booked the ticket.
Oh,
Well,
well,
that's not
that's
what I
too
was
bad.
gonna
I'm
say.
sure he'll live, though.
He's my boyfriend. Charlie's my boyfriend. And me and Charlie, we're going out.
Oh, baby. Oh. Oh, thank you for telling me. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you couldn't tell me that. You don't have to say you like girls if you don't.
No, it's definitely not just guys. It's called bisexuality.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I've heard of that. I wasn't born in the 18th century.
Me and Charlie started going out a couple months ago. I started liking him way before that.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you
Oh, I
did.
love you.
Oh, Olivia Colman makes the best mum. Olivia Colman makes the best mum. Oh. I'd come out to her if she was my mum. I'd come out to her. Oh, I love that. Yeah, take a picture, frame that instead. Have like a drone above taking a picture and frame it. Oh, that's the ending. best ending ever. Best season finale. Cannot wait for season 2. Absolutely the best. Absolutely the best. Yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, that was good. That was good. That was good with a capital G. Okay, so yeah, what an interesting finale. What an interesting and the exact kind of positing and uplifting finale we needed after last episode. So that was good. Not without its hiccups. Not without hiccups here and there in the lead up and in the kind of middle of it and everything before the nice and positive and happy kind of uplifting ending that we needed. But I think those hiccups were definitely kind of well tied in, and they were definitely kind of well rounded and everything, and definitely kind of actually led to nicer resolution. So that was better to have. But I think the start. I think even actually woven throughout the episode too was confirmation of Charlie's kind of history of kind of very kind of dodgy and kind of like, you know, badly shaped kind of mental health and everything, like him, the way he's been feeling, the way he's been kind of treated, and the way he's treated himself as a result of everything that's kind of gone on and everything. So that's been less than kind of, you know, nice to hear about. But yeah, Charlie has had, I think, what can probably be best described as a history of like depression, maybe anxiety here and there too, but I think mostly like a history of depression and everything. I think more so. I think it kind of surprised me a little less because I think some people have. I think in like non-spoiler ways. I mean, I don't even know if you can really kind of spoil this because I think if you go back to the episodes, I think the way that people have actually commented on it, I think is definitely something. If you go back through the episodes, you can actually see and you can actually spot it out for yourself. I think he's had different habits here and there, and even different bits of history has been mentioned of Charlie's character that to indicate like a history of mental health and like depression and stuff. So, and I think it ties in very well to exactly how he's been treated and how that's kind of made him treat himself and everything, like the isolation, like his eating habits and his kind of the way that like his kind of time with Ben. I refuse to call that a relationship. I refuse. Like he can still like I think like in the beginning, like his denial was kind of in place there too. I think like the opening scene of him talking to Tori about it too, like him saying like, you know, he was actually going out with this boy Ben, and I think, you know, like for me, I wouldn't know where even near classify that as going out. They never went on dates, they never hung out together. Ben used him for experimentation, if you can even call it that, and then he, you know, like the rest of the time, he treated him like worse. And I was like, he could have easily ignored him, but then he actively like even in front of Nick, he actively berated him and he actively, you know, treated him like actual shit and everything. And he treated him like exactly how Harry would have treated him and everything. He treated him with aggression and rejection and everything when that really wasn't necessary. So I think arguably ignorance would have been just as painful, but I think to be fair, I feel like that might have been like just a little bit less worse than actively and visibly treating him like you know, just something he needed to get rid of and everything. So yeah, but the entire time he was with Ben, like none of that to me kind of constitutes or classifies as a relationship. So I think that kind of stuff to me doesn't really count. So, you know, that's like, to me that's just his time with Ben. That's just his time with Ben. So there's that. There's the stuff he went through with the bullying from the year 11s and just like probably bullying throughout his entire life because he's gay and everything. So like the homophobia, everything else just piling on top of itself. And I think his as Tao mentioned too, and even as he explained to Tori, like his general kind of inward facing attitude of his own kind of self hatred and self kind of like him despising himself and him thinking his mere existence is like an annoyance to everyone, and then sometimes he feels like he'd be like people would be better off without him in their lives. Like that is just like a, you know, on the one hand, it's like I think like for all too many people going through the same thing, it's like an all too relatable kind of feeling too, and it's like something that I think, you know, people, I think it's especially like an all too common kind of thing for people with depression to actually experience and relate to and everything as well. But I think with this one too, I think it's like it's not meant to be relatable, but I think it's also meant to be like a really kind of sad realization of exactly what Charlie's character has gone through and what like just how tough his history's been on him, and exactly like how much he's been doing, how much he's put himself through, and how much he's been put through by other people and everything. So to actually have that featured in a story like this, to actually have mentors, like I think even somewhat subtly, because I think it's very easy to see that for the most part, kind of like in like this whole story being about queer love and queer acceptance and queer kind of friendship and relationship and everything has been pretty much the focus of it, but then woven in throughout has been the kind of details of like the more kind of negative aspects and the negative side effects and everything, both kind of socially and also kind of in like personally too. So those would be like Charlie's different kind of things too. So to actually kind of have that featured in the story too, I think definitely does kind of add a bit more kind of more human and more understandable depth to Charlie's character. And I think it's a very sad reality to have to live in. But again, it's like a more kind of globally kind of understood kind of reality that he lives in, and like a sense of personhood that he lives within as well. So it's just really kind of fucking sad to actually hear about and to see about, and I think even sadder to know that it actually kind of affects so many people in real life in almost the exact same way. So yeah. Easily though, one of the biggest kind of revelations too was, or one of the biggest kind of standing points was literally seeing Charlie standing up to him and outright rejecting him and outright kind of pushing him aside, being like, you know what, not only are we not together anymore, but you don't get to make me feel like crap about myself ever again. You don't get to, you know, your opinion of me is no longer relevant. You can toss that in the trash where it belongs. You know, he like him actively standing up to Ben and pushing aside his notions and pushing aside his judgments and fully ignoring him and actually moving that time with him into the past where it belongs and everything was just was the highlight and the kind of movement and the kind of upwards kind of movement that we need to see. And I think it's definitely kind of like the kind of the actual kind of outward kind of more public kind of slightly more public kind of notification that Ben needed to. Like, I think Ben was still kind of under the kind of some kind of like preconceived notion that, you know, Charlie still somehow cared about what he thought, or that Charlie was still affected by Ben and his kind of view towards him. So he needed to be told otherwise. And Charlie definitely did tell him otherwise. So I think the last episode we had the actual physical kind of blowbacks with Harry that was also kind of pretty necessary, and then this time we actually had Charlie standing up to Ben and telling him to just fuck right off and take his opinions with him and take his bullshit with him. So hats off to Charlie Spring for finally standing up to a very, very horrible ex. And then, yeah, so that was a highlight. That was a definite highlight. And Charlie and Tao made up too. Charlie and Tao definitely made up too. So I think that one, I think that being led by the little kind of meeting between Nick and Tao also was really nice to see them two kind of contemplating exactly like what kind of led them to their current standpoints with Charlie too, like Tao kind of like Tao again, like feeling like he was being left behind and feeling abandoned and stuff, and then just kind of like hoping that, you know, things weren't like the way that he feared they would be, and the, you know, things between Charlie and him would still be mendable. And then Nick, of course, knowing that, you know, like Charlie probably kind of feels kind of held back, or he probably kind of feels like you know, like he probably feels like he's putting Nick kind of in trouble with the constant fights, and him actually kind of like having to deal with other people, like having to now finally stand up to and deal with other people's kind of toxicity and everything. So both of them kind of having those revelations about Charlie before actually finally getting to the making up part was really nice to see. So that was really cool. That was really nice. And even Tao and Elle having a moment too. So I feel like I think that's just like I think Tao and Elle's moment in the art room too. I think that was just like one of the many moments that kind of makes me feel like, you know, definitely definitely before, and like definitely more so before season 2 and 3 were confirmed. Like it definitely feels like that's more of like a. I mean, I feel like it's like actually. I think actually thinking about it more, I feel like not to say that not to say not. I think definitely it definitely feels like, you know, in with other characters, I think that definitely feels like, you know, like it's not necessarily a kind of open ends, but I think it's like definitely like you'd want to see like another season to see everyone else get more screen time. But I think with this one, I would be really interested to see if they actually like if they actually wouldn't go forward with Tao and Elle as a couple, like if they'd actually explore more of them actively trying to be more comfortable with each other, more kind of like persistent with each other as friends. Because then it's like, you know, I think because again, like with Tao's big fear this season being the fact that like he feels like he's losing like his the strength in all of his friendships, and he wants like to actually maintain his friendships and maintain his friends and everything, but then he feels like they're all moving away with different connections and different relationships and everything. Like to then not to say that then moving him and Elle into a relationship would be a bad thing. Like it wouldn't be. I would absolutely fully be okay with them actually being together and being boyfriend and girlfriend and all that kind of stuff. But then I think seeing them in season 2 being like still being friends, I think would be like a slightly more interesting route to go through. Like to actually see maybe if he does overcome that fear, or maybe if he actually does kind of understand a bit more of what of like why that fear is kind of so prevalent in his life, like besides from all the more obvious reasons, and maybe if like that kind of fear is empowered or depowered by Elle kind of wanting to move forward or wanting to do something else. I think, but then in this episode, I think he definitely kind of showed signs of wanting to actually kiss Elle and actually wanting to, be with her and everything. So, who knows? Well, I think maybe then maybe then he realizes that I think because then I think maybe then like the way forward could be that he realizes that he actually isn't that afraid of relationships or moving forward, but then he just wants to do it with Elle. So then that means that like him and Elle are destined to be together. So then that's not exactly bad messaging either. Like they're two very close friends. They have been for a while, and they've supported each other through thick and thin. So them being together would also be like a really kind of logical move for them. But then the fear on Elle's mind too is that she doesn't really want things to kind of break or end between them because of this, and she doesn't want things to turn awkward if they don't feel the same way. But I think now, as an audience, we ourselves have also been shown that that Tao at least does somewhat feel like the same way too. So it does, the light does seem to be shining upon them. So I guess season 2 will definitely kind of give us some glimpses as to what that kind of way forward could be if they do get together, if they do maybe start expressing some of those feelings. And I think if some side romances could be the ones to shine in season 2, like now that we know that Nick and Charlie are official, maybe now like going forward now, like some side romances could be the ones that really kind of move forward in season 2, then it could mean that they get the same treatment and they get the same kind of attention that Nick and Charlie did. Nick and Charlie did this season. Maybe they get like a new level because then they're also actively open with their relationship too. So maybe Tara and Darcy and Nick and Charlie get like a whole new level to their relationship because they're open and because they're out and proud about it and everything. But then Elle and Tao are the new kind of couple on the block. They have to learn about their feelings and learn about how they really kind of want to be with each other and everything. So I guess we just have to wait and see exactly what season 2 holds for us. So yeah. And yeah, Isaac and his books are also very prevalent in this episode too. So I want to see more of Isaac in season 2. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Isaac joining a book club. The kind of content I would be happy to see, the kind of content I would be super open to seeing. Maybe, like, either Isaac and Tori hanging out and being friends and reading, or, like, whatever, or even him joining a book club, or both. Like, they're both of them hanging out at different times, and then him joining a book club or something. Because I feel like just, like him, he's already been shown to be just infatuated with reading and everything, so him actively joining a social setting like that, and actually kind of being able to find like a new clique himself and finding new friends himself and everything would be like the most kind of like it feels like it would be like the most natural way forward. I mean, unless he's also more like introverted and everything, so then he doesn't really actively want to, like, even if they are bookworms like him, maybe he actually just doesn't want to really be around people he doesn't already know and everything, which is totally cool too. But just more of Isaac in season 2, exploring more of what he likes and exploring more of like everything else like about him and everything. So just seeing more of Isaac too, because like literally every time he's popped up, I've done nothing but love him. I've actually nothing but love like he barely does anything besides from read, but every time he pops up, it's just like it's just iconic. So him and Tori, I want Isaac and Tori for season 2. More of Isaac and Tori in season 2, and I want to see more of what Tori's on about too, and it's like her history, kind of growing up too, and everything. So yeah, just more of them. But speaking of Tori too, that opening scene again with her and Charlie too, I think that opening scene with her and Charlie has easily been like the most emotional we've seen from them up until now. Like the entire rest of the season, like we've seen her be sassy and observant and just like really like calling Charlie out on his own kind of kind of what's the word, like his own like you know, like just being like duh to everything he says and everything. So, you know, so like to then see a scene like that where he's actually drumming so loud that she has to go in his room and like throw one of her slippers at him or something. But then she actively does take the time to sit down and listen to him, and then even she's tearing up actually hearing him talking about herself like this because he's her brother and she loves him and she knows he doesn't deserve this, and then she likely also knows that he's been through some shit in the past that has actually led him to feel like this about himself and everything. So then she just gives him a hug too. She just gives him a hug that Charlie has deserved for so long. And I'm happy that Tori, of all people, gave it to him too. I mean, not that you can't get it from other people as well, but then the fact that Tori gave it to him too, I think, again, it's like after everything, after all the kind of more positive and more kind of like funnier, lightweight stuff we've seen from them, to actually see some emotion from them and between them is really kind of like, surprisingly enough, it's really heartwarming to see. So yeah, it just, that power of like kind of like siblingship and everything is just really, really good to see. So yeah. And then, yeah, of course, it was a school sports day. So that meant that they had to sign up for stuff and do sports and do sport events and everything. And then it was Truman Higgs too. It was actually like a Truman Higgs, like a girls and boys sports day too. So that seemed fun. I think like Tao had actively avoided signing up for any kind of spaces until Coach Singh forced him into something that forced him into the only one that was left that had enough spaces in it, which was the 200 meters. So that happened. So yeah, and then Charlie ran that for him, and then again, of course, Charlie also successfully and beautifully and flawlessly and elegantly outruns Ben freaking Hope and everything. So he wins on the verbal front and the physical front. So Charlie Spring being iconic in the season finale, we love to see it. So yeah, that was pretty great. And then of course the rugby match came too. The actual rugby match came, and then but then in the end, I think Nick did not score the winning kick. He didn't even kick at all. He didn't kick at all. He literally just kind of passed the ball to Coach Singh, and then he walked off into the crowd and found Charlie's hand and held his hand, and then walked off with him, hand in hand and everything. So that was the first I think probably like the first easily the first public display they've had where they've actually kind of expressed like some even mild form of PDA and actually kind of been together and actually kind of express their affections for each other and everything. So yeah, and then even Tara and Darcy got some moments here and there too. Tara and Darcy more Tara and Darcy for season 2. Tori, Isaac and Tara and Darcy, more of them for season 2. Yes please and thank you. So yeah, and then I think I'm pretty sure they actually kind of skipped school too. I'm pretty sure like they actually then actually left school and walked out of school or something. I mean they went into the hallway, the corridor scene. The corridor scene was some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen in my life. That stuff was beautiful. The writing, the acting, the directing, the everything thing. Just Nick standing there and making Charlie listen and watch as he pours out his heart and soul to that boy and tells him about how he's quite literally the best thing that's ever happened to him, and he knows that Charlie kind of berates himself constantly, and he berates himself as a result of his own feelings and as a result of other people's inflictions upon him. But then Nick needs him, and it's like Nick's like, no, you don't believe me, you probably don't believe me, and and even be like, hey, if you really want to break up, I respect your decision, but I need you to know this before you do. You are the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I need you to know that. Through and through, and him being like, just him actively telling him how much he loves him and how much he actually wants to be with him. Just this is the kind of thing you say for a finale. This is exactly the kind of thing you would say for a finale to bring out some emotions, to bring out some positive vibes and happy vibes and everything. This is exactly the kind of thing that makes a love confession a love confession. So yeah, that was, we all liked that. Everyone liked that. Everyone with a heart liked that. Everyone with a heart and a soul liked that and stuff. So yeah, and I think I would like to think we got something similar-ish for Tara and Darcy, because I keep thinking about like Tara and Darcy and exactly how much time they actually got to shine in the season 2, especially given that they were like an additional romance that was featured in the story too. And I think it's like, again, there's only so much they can really do in the first season, especially with the format they went with and the kind of way in which they decided to tell the story with the length of episodes and the number of episodes and that kind of stuff, and especially more beneficial that season 2 and a 3 are on the way, so there's more Tara and Darcy stuff they can actually explore and actually kind of execute and everything. And I can only imagine that Alice being the wonderful author that she is, and then the wonderful kind of potential showrunner here that she is too. She actively does want to give them as much chance to shine too, but yeah, I think maybe the closest we might get is probably like that, like the actual music room conversation that we actually got to see of Tara being afraid after having come out and being treated the way she is, but then Darcy still wanting her to know that she's still loved and she's still her girlfriend and she's still as important as ever, and that they don't have to be out anymore if they don't want to, but then she's still happy to be with her in any kind of respect or any regard that matters. But then no, they both agree that like this is what needs to happen, and people can say whatever they want, but then them being together and them being out and together and happy is what's important, regardless of how anyone else feels about it. And then of course I think Charlie and Nick also come to a similar enough conclusion in this episode too. But yeah, I think with this one it's actually the revelation that Charlie actively that Nick actively does want to be with Charlie, and he needs Charlie to know that too, and he goes off on that whole speech and everything. So yeah, to see Charlie so heartfultedly, I think, just so positively and so fully come to that kind of decision that he actively does want to be with Charlie, and he needs Charlie to know that, and he actually wants to go all the way as well, at least romantically, does bring some warmth to the heart, and it does kind of bring, some sun into the sky and everything. So just a fantastic scene overall. Joe Locke and Kit Connor, everybody. Joe Locke and Kit Connor just knocking it out of the park. So yeah. So yeah, I can't tell exactly how far. I kept wondering if they actually had skipped school, but then I think because of the editing and because of how long, over how much time these episodes are meant to take place too, I think it's also completely plausible. I feel like they could have been after that school day or even the next day or something. I think no, he said are you free on Sunday? He said I think I just remembered he did ask Charlie are you free on Sunday? So then they actually fast forward to Sunday, and then he's taken to the beach too. So I think on a Sunday, really, before a Monday, I guess. I think Saturday feels like just so much more the better way, the better day to actually spend going to the beach too. Like you could go on a Saturday, you come back, even if you're knackered, then you still have Sunday to sleep it off and rest up and everything. But if you go on a Sunday, then it's just it feels like a rush more than anything else. But either way, they went to the beach. They actually went to the beach and spent some time there, and actually kind of had some chips and went on the ferry, the fairground rides and everything, and actually spent some time on the pier and on the beach too, and everything. And then they actually discussed their future. They discussed their future and actually discussed what they were going to do with their newfound kind of emotional kind of feelings for each other and everything. And then of course Nick said that he's acted, and then Nick said that he feels like he's ready to come out. He not only knows that he is bisexual, but then he also feels like he's actually ready to tell other people, or to tell the people that matter that, and actually go somewhat the similar route as Tara and Darcy too, of not making a public announcement about it, but then still not really denying anything, and actually kind of being somewhat more relevantly open about it to the people that matter, and in a more kind of in a more kind of simple kind of way, like Tara and Darcy. So yeah, so then they actively do also decide to be boyfriends too, and I think that the most relatable thing about the most relatable and gayest thing about them being together too, Charlie still being does this mean we're boyfriends? And Nick's like, dude, we've made out 10, 20 different times, and we've hung out, and we've, kissed endlessly, and we've confessed our feelings to each other, and you're still wondering if we're officially together, officially boyfriends and everything. So that whole kind of that whole thing that just gays can just relate to, being okay, so we've done this, and now we've spent more time together than any normal kind of any kind of heterosexual person would. But then it's are we are we doing this stuff as friends, or are we actually together, or what's going on here? So that kind of thing, just being the so that was pretty on point. That was pretty on point. But yeah, no, they are officially boyfriends, as the title of this finale episode would suggest. They officially kind of declared themselves as boyfriends, and even Nick running out into the ocean and declaring it to all the fishes and everything. So Nemo's probably down there swimming circles or something. So yeah, so yeah, he declared it, and he declared it to the world and everything too. And it's oh, I love Charlie Spring, and not just in a friendly way, but in a romantic way. So yeah, he definitely took to the seas. He definitely took to the seas and everything. So Yeah, probably even some mermaids down there celebrating their love. Probably some mermaids going to swimming circles and stuff, and maybe some sirens actually celebrating it too. So yeah, So that was cool. That was very, very cool. That was very, very fun. Very fun. Very fun. And also something I really want to mention really quickly. I think I recognized it almost instantly too because she is on Twitter, and I think I actually did. I think soon after I actually started this series too, I did recently start following her on Twitter. I'm pretty sure that other woman, like it was. I think it felt so subtle, but also not subtle at the same time because I think with the framing, kind of showed it off as like, oh, it could be just any other person on the train too. Like it's a train that everyone takes, so chances are there's gonna be other people on the train. So like it was actually framed in that way, but then it's like also like, oh, if you blink and you'll probably miss it, but then it's like, it's just on there for like a few seconds. I'm pretty sure the woman on the other end of the train with the rainbow tote bag, with the very lovely rainbow tote bag, might I add, I'm pretty sure that was Alice Oseman. I'm pretty sure. I think if actually I'm gonna go back to that episode because I'm pretty sure because I've seen her, like her face is her profile picture on Twitter too. So I think I recognize her fairly vividly from that. So if I just, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Alice Oseman. I'm pretty damn sure. And I think they also did like a video on they actually did do like a little kind of there was a video on YouTube of her doing like some kind of like a drawing challenge with the cast of Heartstopper 2. Something I've seen her from that too. So I'm pretty damn sure that's Alice Oseman. They actually got her to cameo on this too, like a cool little kind of creator cameo in this kind of show, and I think she's drawing too. I think for all we know, that could be like some kind of sneak peek of her working on like an actual future edition or volume of Heartstopper. Just her working while she's working. So like don't know if that's what it is, but. Yeah, that's cool either way. That's really cool either way. I'm 90% sure that is Alice Oseman. So really cool that she got. I mean, understandable since she did work fairly closely on this adaptation herself too. But still, super cool. They actually got her onto this and everything. So yeah, I think to imagine that too, like being her, like actually being in her position too, being like an author, like who actually gets to see like her work actually kind of come to life, and she sat alongside the actors actually so flawlessly and so eloquently playing the two title characters from the book, and actually being able to being able to actually kind of actually be in her own adaptation, and seeing her own adaptation actually affect so many people just like her. So emotionally and so professionally and so personally and so artistically and everything, just actually just kind of like it must be like a mind-boggling kind of thing for her. So props to her for creating the story, and props to her for being able to actually see the story come this far, and actually being involved in it and everything. So that is super cool. That is pretty super cool. So everyone, go show Alice Oseman some love, and actually go show her some appreciation, and maybe follow her on Twitter or whatever else she's on. So yeah, she's super cool. She's cool. And then, of course, we had the scene later on of Nick coming out to his mum. Nick actually coming out to his mother as bisexual and everything. Actually, like starting off by telling her that that Charlie is in fact her boyfriend and everything. So that scene, honestly, quite like a fair amount of coming out scenes in different movies and everything. I think probably mostly in movies. But I think sometimes in TV shows too. Yeah, I think, the coming out scenes I've seen have generally kind of been like a mixed bag too. Some of them have ended well, some of them have ended not so well. I think off the top of my head, I think off the top of my head, I think one of the coming out scenes I actually really enjoyed was the one from Love, Simon, where Simon comes out to his parents. I think initially it doesn't go so well, but then like the one with his initially it doesn't go too well, because it's just like a really kind of shocking turn the tables moment. But then afterwards, like he has like individual conversations with his mum and his dad, and they both react nothing if not positively and everything. So so those ones were really cool to see too, and everything. So that one was really good. I think there's been like a bunch of others in like much older shows and much older kind of movies as well. So again, like there's like a fair amount of coming out scenes, even on Netflix shows themselves. Like even if the platform isn't really the best right now, I think there's been like a bunch of other kind of scenes from different kind of shows that they've done and released and everything. So to actually be able to add this to the collection, this was beautiful. This was beautiful, and I think this is exactly how a coming out should go. Coming out in itself, I think some people are okay with it, some people are comfortable with it, and I think others kind of do see coming out as like a kind of process only made necessary only because of heteronormativity and all that kind of stuff. So I think some people get it, some people don't, and then yeah, like that alone is a mixed bag. But I think, you know, coming out, this is exactly how it should go, if at all. If it does happen at all, it like this is the if it does happen at all, this is how it should go for every child and every parent. You know, no child should have to actually kind of fear having to come out to anyone in their life, and especially not a parent, especially not as someone as pivotal as a parent. Parental figure of any kind and everything. I think especially like the fact that his mum said, like, you know, I'm really sorry if you felt like you had to hide this from me, or if you couldn't come to me with this before, but I'm really glad you did now, and I love you so much. And it's just God, just, you know, God, just she like it's Olivia Colman, so you kind of hope / expect that it would go as wholesomely and as happily as it did. And everything, and then it also does kind of leave you, and it does leave you, and like it does end up leaving you feel like, you know, like even like if Olivia Colman playing your mother, you'd come out to her, but then it's like, oh, even if it was just Olivia Colman, like you'd end up coming out to her because you think she'd actually be accepting and loving and everything towards you. So that was just God, that like if that doesn't give you hope for like a better future, I don't know what does. I really don't know what does. And I think that that can also be used. I think scenes like that and kind of content like that can also kind of, I think, be used as like inspiration too. And I think actually kind of showing not only kids coming out, but then also showing like parents actually reacting wholesomely and positively and like, you know, like warm-heartedly and everything towards their kids. Even after that is actually like a much nicer thing to see, and actually kind of can be much more influential than people realize and everything. So just having like a good, nice, kind of happy, coming out scene is just. It's just like, I think words can't always fully describe. I think you can definitely try and use words to describe it, and I think you can probably succeed in different degrees. But I think for the most part, I think it's just like a really kind of, it's a feeling that hits hard here. So I hope everyone from here on out, probably wishful thinking in some regards, but I'm hoping any of you as well who have come out to your family and friends, I'm hoping it's gone well. I'm hoping, you know, they've all accepted you, and, you know, this channel is always open and welcome and supportive, no matter who you are or what you are. You know, we love you. So, yeah. I especially love that joke, like, Nick being like, you know, yeah, so there's this thing called bisexuality. Have you heard of it? She's like, yeah, I'm not from the 18th century. I know what bisexuality is. Like, you know, that's the thing. And especially because, like, you know, like being, I think ironically enough, I think bisexuality is like actually like the kind of higher percentage within the LGBTQ community as well. I think that's actually the sexuality that more people identify with, but then it's like it's simultaneously reported as like so invisible because like some people like avoid coming out as bi, or some people kind of hide that they're bi because of like the treatment and because of like biphobia and everything. So I think it's like simultaneously it's like the higher percentage within the community, I think, or at least like last I heard, I think, you know, maybe things would be different now, but I think last I heard it was the highest one, but then now it's also like but then it like because of various struggles that bisexual people specifically face, I think it's also like you know, like the more kind of like a deep kind of invisible sexuality, or like the one that actually faces like so much more kind of discrimination even from within the community. So it's like a really kind of little complicated kind of bubble of its own. But yeah, to see Nick's bisexuality actually kind of being explored and flourished and explored in this one is has been nothing but a treat. And actually I think seeing him coming out openly as a bisexual guy as well has been, you know, it like that alone is also, I think, you know, like I think the demographics kind of differ among that too, like among genders and stuff. So, you know, seeing him being able to come out like that, actually kind of being able to openly embrace his love and affection and his like desire to have a relationship with another boy has been nothing short of heartwarming and everything. So I'm hoping bisexual people actually watching this series can actually feel like their stories matter too, and their sexuality matter, and like, you know, like regardless of what preferences they have or what relationships they're in, you know, like they feel like, you know, them being bi still matters and it's still acknowledged and still respected and still, you know, like authentically kind of shown and accurately shown and everything. So You know, I think again, experiences can definitely differ, and different kind of ways of like I think maybe even different ways of identifying with being bi can differ too. But I think the way they've shown it here has definitely kind of made me kind of understand it in like its most kind of simplest forms, and definitely kind of seeing Nick, you know, like definitely seeing Nick kind of you know, like come to terms with being bi has been like a really kind of like easy to understand and easily kind of processable thing to see too. So yeah, so yeah, it's been really cool. It's been really cool seeing that too. So yeah, so yeah, going forward, I think it's just gonna be really interesting seeing exactly what kind of relationships they actually explore in in season 2, and what characters they actually bring forth into the spotlight more in season 2, and maybe seeing if they actually introduce anyone else in season 2 as well. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a hopefully kind of fun time, and also I think seeing just like seeing like where they go from here too. Because again, I think Nick is in year 11 with some of the other characters too. So I think he should be kind of graduating soon enough. So you know, after those GCSEs come in, I think he'll probably be going off to sixth form or college or something. So then that kind of thing will be kind of interesting to see too. Like maybe if they actually do start off the season with him going off to college or something, and then him having to do maybe some kind of long distance thing with Charlie or something, will be interesting to see. So just seeing how they all move on as actual kind of age appropriate and age relevant kind of teenagers and everything will be fun to see. But yeah, and I think again with this being such an accurately casted kind of age like teenage show as well, I think that can only really leave you with the expectation of actually seeing exactly how far they go with their stories and how far these characters go in life and everything. So it's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for being here, you know, for watching these reactions and for supporting these reactions and supporting me and supporting the channel and actually being so accepting and lovely with these with these reactions. I think adding this show to the channel has easily been one of the things I've actually enjoyed doing the most and everything. And it's been such a fun and such a lovely kind of show to watch, and you know, even with its kind of darker sides and with its hiccups, I think it's definitely been like a story worth exploring and a story worth digesting, and definitely has kind of, you know, kind of opened me up to actually kind of maybe adding more stories of the variety of the actual kind of queer variety on the channel too. So you know, we need more of that kind of media out there, and actually more of that more of those stories that kind of uplift and thrive and flourish and everything. So who knows what could be on the horizon? Who knows? So yeah, but thank you all for being here, and if you're here for the first time, then welcome. We have milk and cookies. Not really. I'm hoping you kind of brought that yourself, but either way, it's, you know, it's like, you know, we try and make it a fun place here. We try and make it a fun and welcoming and wholesome place here, and hope that we treat each other all equally and happily and everything. But yeah, just welcome and thank you for actually being here to support these reactions and then for supporting Heartstopper and everything. So hopefully if you stick around, you find some other stuff you enjoy watching plenty of shows and bringing back plenty that I haven't watched in a while. So stick around and see if there's anything else you enjoy and everything. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That was Heartstopper. That was all of Heartstopper. That was all of Heartstopper season 1. So thank you guys all for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment what you thought of it and what you thought of the season and what you thought of the show so far and what you're looking forward to, and any kind of feelings and thoughts you've had from the show, how it's made you feel, how it's kind of opened you up, and how it's kind of made you relate to your own experiences, and any stories you want to share and all that kind of stuff. You know, and anything you look forward to in season 2 and anything you hope to see and stuff like that, of course, remaining spoiler free as always too. So that will be much appreciated. And once again, if you want to catch the full-length reaction to this episode, and that will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. So until the next time, bye bye for now.